so like I'm in such deep receiving about this topic that I just couldn't think about doing any other, like editing something when I wanted to be able to do this. So Robin and I have spent a bunch of time on December's topic. So Robin, are we ready for me to get right into it, or is
Yeah,
it?
I just started the recording because I didn't want to miss anything. So um we kind of came into that recording midway through. So just for everybody that is joining us on the recording, Colleen was just showing our Reiki Conversations blog that and you don't need to screen share again, Colleen, that's fine. It's on our resources tab on Reiki Lifestyle. We'll put a link in the description, the show notes. So essentially, what she was saying is that we take those blogs and they are a companion to our distance Reiki shares. However, they're always a little delayed. So, because it takes us a while to kind of, you know, get what we need done for to publish them and that kind of thing. So, I think right now, Colleen, we're publishing the spiritual buzzwords
That should start tomorrow, the spiritual.
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
we did that series in October and the beginning of November.
Yeah. So,
Robin did most of that.
yeah, so anyway, so that's what she was talking about. So you can go and check those out. Like I said, we'll put a link in there. They're related usually to our, or they're related to our distance Reiki shares. And we always have the corresponding videos and journeys with them. So that if you prefer to have the visual to it, you can do that. If you prefer to read, we'd send out emails and the blogs. And there's always a bit extra in there with the blogs and the emails. So just on awareness with that. So I do want to get into today's topic. What I just want to say really quickly, Colleen. So Next Step Reiki registration, as you all know, is open, and Explore the 12 Heavens is open. I did want to announce, though, that the early bird portion of registration closes on Sunday, the 14th. And so just an awareness that if you want that booklet, you want those exclusive guided journeys that correspond with that booklet is Reiki and Shamanism, which talks about journey techniques and the differences and things like that. And then, like I said, we have two exclusive guided journeys that go with that booklet. You'll need to register by this upcoming Sunday, which is December 14th. However, regular registration is open until January 18th. So you have lots of time to register. It's just for that early bird aspect. So wanted to let everybody know about that. Okay, let's go ahead
Okay.
and get into today's topic.
All right. So before I start, I'm going to just take a moment. We're not going to go into the journey, but I need to take a moment and close my eyes. Each of you do the same. Just close your eyes for a minute and take some deep breaths. And just let go of everything else there is to think about, that you had to think about to arrive and that you need to think about later. And give yourself this time to be about you. Right now, it's very difficult to find time for yourself, or maybe you even have too much time for yourself, so that can make it hard to focus also. So just let it all go and take some deep breaths as we activate the fields of Reiki flowing in on your breath and your ability to hear as we return to visioning, bringing your visions for your life into your view, to let go of the things that you're not taking forward with you, to complete the completions that are completing right now, and to prepare for the new beginnings that may seem to be unclear ahead of you. What are they, and what does the path ahead look like? Returning to your visioning, returning to your dreams, and the practicalities of it all with clarity. So just breathe deeply as we explore the realms of perception through eagle vision. Soaring from up high, what does your path look like behind you, around you, and in front of you? From the heights of the soaring eagle. And then next week, what does your path look like all around you from the vision of a mouse vision? What's right now, immediate details, tasks, up close. And then the following week, we vision you with your inner vision. And we talk about it and we go on journeys. And then in the 5th week, that's December 30th, we'll be bringing it all together for you to look at your choices of your path. And each week we'll let go and move into the completions and prepare for the new beginnings with clarity and visioning. So take some more deep breaths. All who are here live and those who listen later, it's all posted again on YouTube and our podcast channel on Thursdays. And you can always go back and listen again. So in this moment, we breathe in the light of Reiki, awakening your perceptions, your visioning in this moment. So when you're ready, open your eyes and come back completely. Well, that helped. Well, because it's at 9:30 in the morning here, and I'm a really early riser. So for me, 9:30, I've already been really actively working for 3 to 4 hours. So coming in and focusing for any of you doing anything like this, sometimes just taking that moment for those breaths and inviting Reiki in can then let the Reiki energy come through so you're speaking with that energy at the same time. Yeah, Liz said that helped a lot. Yes. Okay, so to get to it. So we've been talking, hold on, now I have to clear my throat. We've been talking starting last week. So this particular series, the Eagle Mouse Vision series, and this will also be in a blog, but probably not till the end of January. Anyway, in this series last week was like this incredible, powerful journey for me and all of us into the blessing fields. And it lasted all week with our next step classes. We had our Q&As. So we started with the blessing fields here in the distance Reiki share. And then in the classes, we continued to do journeys with these blessing fields. And now what has happened is I've been really aware of it in my sessions, like seeing people repeatedly, like this is an energy and a frequency that needs to be present as we move into our visioning. And the Reiki energy actually brings that energy to you. It's one of the life force energies that can actually be empowered, ignited in your body with the energy of Reiki, and also the things to heal that block it to begin with, for all the reasons that's possible. Got to clear my throat again. So this week, or for the next 4 weeks, we are going to be doing and going on the Eagle Mouse Vision journeys. And those are going to be where you use Reiki energy to cross over a bridge of light to go into your visioning. So to begin with, like, what's in the way? Where have your visions of what's ahead of you, what's behind you? Um, what are the things that are blocking it? And even if you're in a high level of visioning right now, there's always still the greater levels of these frequencies. So we'll be going into the journeys from the perception of eagle vision, where you'll be looking at your path behind you, above you, below you, all around you, in front of you, from the perspective of eagle vision. So Reiki is going to help you lift your consciousness and literally soar up. And it's a very human practice because these are human needs and thoughts. Our path ahead of us that is unfolding, particularly, it's going to shift a lot in February. There's a lot of astrological changes happening. So as we move our path forward, that we've actually been conscious about it. So as you perceive your path from the vision of an eagle, you can see really far, and you can see what you're going to let go of from your path behind you, what you're going to bring in from your path behind you, what you want to continue, and to empower the gifts and the skills and the knowing, the inner knowing that you have from your lived path. And then what's happening right now and what's happening in your path ahead of you. In each case, there is letting go. And that's one of the things that we noticed last week in our Q&As for the distance Reiki shares. There was a lot of letting go, like more than usual. What was notable to me and is notable to me, what I'm seeing is we're also at a completion with a lot of the letting go. So there's a lot of things that you're just like, I don't even need to investigate it anymore. I don't need to know more about it. I know what I need to know. I am ready to, prepare to move on my path forward. What are my new beginnings? What are my visioning? And what are my dreams? And then what are the practicalities of it all? Because sometimes the practicalities, the dreams are merged with the practicalities, and the practicalities have to take a priority. And they can be a mix of your dreams, and they can be part of your path to your dreams, and you can be more conscious about the flow of it all. So then next week, we will go into the visioning from mouse vision. And you're going to move your consciousness and your perceptions into your paths all around you again from the vision of a mouse. And what is immediate? What's right in front of you? What is now, like right now? What are the details? What's immediate? And the timing, because it's still tasks, priorities, etc. You think of a mouse vision, they're very, very busy looking at everything, checking it all out, finding their resources, really big time. Like, what are the resources from your past? And what are some of the ones you're going to let go of? What are your resources that are immediate and then on your path ahead of you? And then the third one, the third journey we're going to do is your inner vision. So we'll move from all those perspectives, merge them, integrate them into your inner vision. Same thing, looking at your path all the way. It's a really important time right now to gain, to be conscious of this whole subject of your path. In many ways, what we've been shown is because everything has been so chaotic and we've been in these unprecedented events repeatedly since, really maybe before 2020, but really amplified for the past 6 years and 5 years, 6 years. And so, in a certain way, that has made the experience of visioning our dreams out ahead of us harder to trust and to feel clear about. And what are they? And how is all the external stuff affecting it? And then getting to the practicalities. Because right now, for me, the staying stable through it all has been my biggest visioning of like, I'm just going to stay stable. I'm staying on my path. I'm just going to, be in that place. That's not true for everyone, particularly astrologically with Uranus moving and back and forth, these big planets moving back and forth. Sometimes that energy has brought in explosive change. That can be in the mix too. But you can still find that stability underneath it. And that's where the Reiki energies come in because that's part of the nature of them. They bring that stability because they bring more clarity within you. So, as we've talked so much this year, our background is in shamanism with Reiki. And so you see these influences with it and how we're working with the consciousness gained in these journeys, but using Reiki energy for it all. It's all merged. I shouldn't say but, and using Reiki energy for it all is today, 2 times, the last 2 days, the words with the blessing fields that we're inviting to be a whole part of us while we're in this. Well, always, but particularly our pathways are lined with it. But 2 things have come in really big is ease and gentleness. Like we really need some ease and gentleness in the mix of it all. And that's part of that blessing energy. And also, as we are intentional in engaging that way, it helps us find the pathways. It's like the Reiki energy, the way it always shows it to me visually is I can see my path ahead of me. And sometimes I can see it and it's like there's solar lights lit all the way on the path. And sometimes they veer off a little to the left or to the right. There might be detours. Sometimes there's like a boulder I've had to climb over, something like that. But I can see my path ahead of me, and sometimes really far, and other times like only the next light, like only one light ahead of me. And learning how to just be comfortable with that, because Reiki energy often does that. And then sometimes, of course, the path all the way around is to stand still. That's what I saw with a client today was this timing right now for many of us, even though we may be busy, we're still in the completions, we're still in the letting go. They're not quite complete. For some of you, maybe they are. And the new beginnings are just starting to really be like, oh, there they are. So we may have had visioning of what that looks like, but now the energy is going to be moving forward. And there's a lot of support for it astrologically. I'm not an astrologer. We have some very good ones here in our community. Um, but also I know enough to look at the planets and the big aspects that are happening. Neptune goes direct tomorrow. So it's been in retrograde in Pisces for quite a while, and tomorrow goes direct. So that's a big shift in energy. Saturn's moving with it. Uranus just moved. Pluto's still doing what Pluto started back in February. And then all the other planets that mix with it. All of them are going to be where they are headed. They're not retrograding for a while in February, the end of February, March. And so everything I've heard about that, both from astrologers I've listened to and also in my own journeys about timing, is that that's when we're going to be more clear about our new beginnings. The completions will have completed, the new beginnings will be completing. And also in February, we change from the year of the snake into the year of the fire horse. Really big, different energies. So, what this is talking about with where we have been guided in these journeys for this whole month, for this series of the Mouse Eagle Vision journeys, and it's really more about clarity of your path. These are the journeys we can do to gain perspectives from all different levels of awareness. And they're really fun journeys in addition. So there'll be quite a bit of opportunity for automatic writing in them. If you like to do automatic writing, you don't have to. You can just let the journeys go through you. There will be questions. There's been some consistency of things that are showing up. And one of the ones also is re-engaging us with our questions. Sometimes those have been either, like for me, they were, in my life, the ability to ask questions has been underdeveloped. My age group, we were told answers rather than taught how to listen to questions or how to think about questions. In the big picture, I mean, not in every immediate thing, but like that was one of the hardest things when I started in my training in shamanism. And every week there was always like, something about what's your intention? What are your questions? And that was always the hardest thing for me to find. And then over the years, actively, consciously listening for it. And then in 2023, when I was in Egypt with Sekhmet, and she said, ask the questions you don't know to ask. And so that has also been coming in really powerfully for all of us, bringing back our curiosity, our questions, our dreams, and then the flavor of practicalities with it all. Timing. Timing, because we're on the earth. The earth has timing. It's one of the harder aspects for a lot of people is managing timing on this planet. So anyway, the journeys are fairly long, so I'm going to finish up with, I use the word query to help you frame your personal questions and what you want to learn. Anyway, the journeys are pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up Robin. She's going to do the journey today, and this is the Eagle Vision Journey. The other part of it is that has come in the questions, and then also one of the questions for you to ask yourself, and you'll be prompted in the journey to ask yourself who I am. And it's a different question than who am I? So listen to the difference. Hold on. So now notice who I am. And now the shift in the question of who am I? Both questions are relevant. In this journey, it's who I am, for you to take some time with you and that perception. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and finish up, Robin, if you want to go into the next thing. So there's lots of time for it.